Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we look at the Sonoff Mini-Dim Matter device added to Home Assistant. You're going to add it via Matter and via Sonoff LAN and see what features are available, how it works, and create a few node-read flows with this device. First, we need to go into eWeLink. If you're like me and use a different account for your Home Assistant and Sonoff LAN, go into the device in eWeLink and share it to the account linked to your Sonoff LAN. Once that's done, reboot Home Assistant and you'll see the device under Sonoff LAN. So as you can see, nothing has pulled through, so we're just going to have to wait for the next update. So please be patient because someone is busy fixing this. Next, we're going to add this using Matter. In eWeLink, go to Device and then go to Matter Supported Platforms. Click the plus button and you're going to want to take down that code. Then in Home Assistant, click on Settings and go to Device and Services. Then find Matter and give that a click. Add device. Set that code we got from eWeLink. Give that add device button a hit. Let's see what we can see. Whoop! We can see stuff. Let's have a look. Okay, first, Wi-Fi switch. From here, we can turn it on and off. We'll have a closer look at this entity in a minute. Firmware up to date. Identity. This will trigger the blue light on the device to flash. On level is the brightness of the bulb when the switch turns on. 255 is 100%, therefore 128 would be 50%. And then finally we have power on state. Let's click on the switch. Yeah, we can increase or decrease the brightness. You see it's stuck on 8%. Don't worry about that. It just happens from time to time, just a glitch. Let's have a look at power on state. Our default is on previous, but you also have the option of off, on, or toggle. In the device info, we can see things like node ID, network type, device type, network name, MAC address, network address, all that nerdy technical stuff. Now for node read, my favorite. Before we start, we're just going to do two things first. First, we're going to set the dimmer on level to 5. And then we create ourselves a helper, an input boolean, which I've already done. Called the dimmer test. This is to trigger our flow. Okie dokie, let's go have a look at those load read flows. I've created two flows here, one for on and one for off. They're very similar, other than a few differences in the function node maths and an action node here at the end of the off flow, because obviously going down to 0 doesn't turn the switch off. Okay, first here, let's go have a look at the state node. This is very straightforward. Just give it a description and then specify our entity, which is our input boolean, the dimmer test. On state, we specify if the state is on. Okay, now we're going to look at the first function node. In here, we're just going to set the message types, the variables that you'll be using. You can mess around with these values to get the desired effect that you want. The delay node, no rocket science here, just 500 milliseconds. You can also adjust this if you want. But yes, that's it. Let's move on. Okay, our next function mode is the calculate up. This is what makes everything work. We're going to set two constants, max and b, and then we just do a bit of maths here. You can change these numbers. For example, you don't want to go all the way to 255. You wanted to have it 155 or whatever the case may be. You can alter this here. You could also have input numbers here that you could adjust on your dashboard and put them in here. So if you wanted to change it to, say, 100, you could just do it there, and then it'll automatically update this without having to go into it. But yes, and then we have a message done. When it reaches its max, it'll have done, and that will terminate the flow in the next step. Next up, we have an action node. This just sets the brightness. We specify the Wi-Fi smart switch, which is our dimmer, light to turn on, and the data we use the payload to increase the brightness. Okay, we're going to head back to calculate up. Message done. If it's false, we'll go back and repeat the step. If true, it terminates the step. So I'm going to just add one bonus flow. This is going to be simulating a Sonoff Zigbee 4 button battery operated switch. This thing's pretty awesome. So I do use it in my man cave / deck area to control just about everything. So if we look here, we've got 4 inject nodes to simulate the output of the button. I've created one large switch node, and in here, I've added each option that would come up when the button is triggered. And then finally, I've got 4 outputs to set the dimmer at different rates. So essentially, if I pressed button 1, it was set to 100. If I set button 2, it sets it to about 69%. 3, you get the idea. Okay. Let's quickly test this. I've added all these flows in the description below. You're welcome to go download the flows and import them into your own Home Assistant. It'll save you a little bit of work. I've manually set the dimmer to 1%. Okay, let's go trigger the first one. This will set it to 100%. So let's trigger that. Go look here. Okay, you can see it's 100%. Okay, let's trigger the second one. You can see, okay, that sets it to 69%. Okay, now we're going to trigger the third. That sets to 39%. And finally, we're going to do the last one. Trigger that, and we can see it's 11%. And that's it for the Node Red flows. Hope these are helpful. If you have any ideas or any requests on something you would like to do, please let me know. I always enjoy a challenge, so please drop it down in the comments below. If this was helpful in any way, clap that like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you very much. This is Jason from Afro Home Automation, automating your house one device at a time.